Hi everyone, Rich Pargter here from dietfreeweightloss.co.uk. When you're trying to lose weight, you'll know there will be a point where you get bored, when your motivation begins to wane, and especially if you're following a diet plan that controls what you're eating. Now, one of the best ways to overcome this is by goal setting. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you don't have a goal in mind, or if you don't know what you want to achieve, then how are you going to reach that goal? How are you going to reach that end goal? Now, how are you going to lose the weight to get the body you've always wanted without having a definite goal in mind? Now, this is what I call setting a targeted declaration. Now, what you need to do is when you've decided that you want to lose weight, you don't want to say to yourself, I'll lose some weight, I want to lose some weight, and I want to do it within a couple of months. Because that's not a targeted declaration, because it's not specific, it's going to be much harder to achieve that goal. So the best thing that you can do is say to yourself, I will lose £5 in 2 weeks, and the date in 2 weeks will be the 14th of August. Then once you've said that to yourself, you need to write it down. And when you write it down, because you've put it down on paper, it becomes easier to achieve and more, it's like it's been set in stone. It's more believable to you that you can achieve the £5 in 2 weeks. And once you've wrote it down, you need to read it out loud to yourself every night before you go to bed and every morning when you wake up. Now, you might feel a bit weird about doing that, but the best thing to do is to read it out loud. Go and shut yourself in a room by yourself and just read it to yourself out loud. And just by doing that, your mind begins to believe it, and it becomes more of a reality. The next thing that you need to do is share your goal. Tell someone else close to you what you want to achieve. Now, by doing that, because you've shared it, you've committed to that target goal even more. And because you've involved somebody else, it's much more difficult to give up, because you'll not only be letting yourself down, but you'll also be letting them down too, and you don't want to do that. We, by human nature, want to please people. So if you commit to the targeted declaration, if you commit to your goal and then you share that goal, it's going to be much easier to achieve it and much harder to give up. And the next step is to plan ahead. The night before, write down a plan of what you want to achieve the following day, and that goes for a meal plan and an exercise plan. Now, it doesn't have to be in depth, it can just be like a short shopping list, or that kind of short targeted list of what you want to achieve the following day. Because if you don't, if something comes up that you hadn't planned for and a meal's delayed, you're late for your lunch or you're late for your dinner, that it's much easier to go out and reach for something like fast food or something already prepared for you by somebody else, and that may not be as nutritionally valuable as something that you've prepared for yourself. Or you could just go and get a chocolate bar, or an unhealthy snack. But if you've planned in advance what you've got, and you've got that food with you while you're at work, or say a meeting runs over, but you've got a meeting coming up and it's going to be at a time when you'd normally eat at lunchtime, then you can work around it if you've planned ahead. So the 3 steps to stay motivated are: number 1, set a targeted declaration. Write down a definite goal and read it out loud every night and every morning when you wake. Number 2, share that goal. Tell a close friend or a family member what your goals are, and because you do this, you're going to commit to it more. You'll be more committed yourself, and you'll also be able to share that goal and share the achievement. Number 3, plan ahead. Write down a meal plan and an exercise plan the night before and stick to it. You know, if you've got it written down beforehand, it's much easier to stick to than if you're thinking of things on the fly, that you're trying to think, well, I should have something to eat now. I haven't really got time to prepare it, so I'll just have something from the vending machine. If you plan beforehand, it's much easier, and it makes your weight loss journey much more easier to achieve. I hope you found this video valuable. So when you get to a point where your motivation begins to wane and you're getting a bit bored with things, have a read through this. Make sure you follow the steps. I hope you found the content valuable. I've been Rich Pargeter from dietfreeweightloss.co.uk, and I'll see you in the next video.